Hey folks, welcome to John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. Today we're heading up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and it's a special day because it is Ryan the Photographer Gets to Fish Day.
Hey, John Gillespie!
This is phenomenal. Massive Slavosaurus Big Butt Muscalungo. Hey guys, I got an 11 pounder. Look at that thing, man. Oh no. Look at the tummy on that thing.
That's a toad.
Yes, folks, it is Photographer Day, and we're in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, just north of Iron River. And I'll tell you what, Ryan, you don't get a lot of opportunities to fish, and this is a time when we put a day and a half aside where I get to film you, you get to film me, and it is a nice opportunity for you, isn't it?
It's going to be nice to take part in what I look at every week.
No, this will be fun, won't it, Ryan?
Absolutely. I can't wait to get a line wet and catch some fish.
Let's tell the folks a little bit about the dirt road we were driving back in today. Nicolet National Forest. Cool country, isn't it?
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. A little bit of an experiment going back in there and checking out the lakes that they got.
It'd be perfect for ATV riders.
Absolutely.
And you know, there's 3 or 4 lakes back there. The one that we're going to be on is Winslow. And Winslow Lake has kind of a unique deal. It's a, catch and release deal?
Yeah, ever since 1992, according to the DNR website there, that they've had a 0 bag on walleyes, so it's all catch and release.
We'll have fun, Ryan. Folks, we'll show you what we're using and how we're using it. All of that coming up right after this. Hey folks, as you know, I switched to an Evinrude E-Tech G2 this year. I couldn't be happier. My E-Tech G2 is cutting-edge innovation at its finest, and along with the Recon 2185, the performance and fuel economy I'm getting with this boat package is better than anything on the market. And now my friends at Mills Fleet Farm and Evinrude would like to share this experience with you. From now until October the 15th, go to any Mills Fleet Farm store and enter the Evinrude and Mills Fleet Farm Summer on the Water sweepstakes for your chance to win an Evinrude E-Tech G2 and Recon 985 SC boat package along with some other great prizes. And make sure to check out the full Evinrude lineup at evinrude.com. Folks, I'll tell you what, the greatest addition that we've had this summer, other than Baby William, is the Quickset Tent by Clam. Is this awesome or what?
Yeah, super awesome.
Super awesome. The cool thing is it sets up in 40 to 45 seconds. One person can do it, and it's good to go. But look at how big it is on the inside. There's plenty of room for a picnic table and 8 chairs. Everybody sits in there and enjoys themselves. Again, the Quickset by Clam sets up in 45 seconds.
It's shady and completely bug-free. I love the Quickset by Clam. Check out all the Quickset models at clamoutdoors.com.
From the makers of the best-selling Yamaha Grizzly and Kodiak 700 comes the all-new Kodiak 450, the world's only midsize ATV with Yamaha-proven off-road capability, all-day comfort, and confidence-inspired performance. The all-new Kodiak 450, starting at just $59.99.
At Mills Fleet Farm, there's something for everybody. We're the store that has it all. Buy select sizes of Science Diet or Hill's Ideal Balance pet food. Get a free $10 gift card. Rugged cat work boots give you support and comfort, all 20% off. Get a dozen Kerr pint-sized wide-mouth canning jars, $7.99. Press for time? Buy online at fleetfarm.com, then pick up in store. Now available at your local Mills Fleet Farm.
Hey, welcome back, folks. As I mentioned at the top of the program, it's Photographer Day. Ryan's fishing and filming. Here comes a walleye to start the day.
Beautiful.
Ooh, that is a real nice walleye there, isn't it, Ryan?
Gorgeous.
That is a beautiful fish. And again, we're in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, north of Iron River. And Ryan, you know me, right, with the Jerko?
Always.
Yeah, and I put on the smaller one. That's a 4-inch one. And the reason I went smaller today is overnight we had a storm move through, and actually the temperature dropped about 15 degrees, about 55 degrees this morning. So a lot of times they'll prefer a smaller bait on a cold front, but that's a real nice walleye to start the day, isn't it?
Beautiful.
And you are going to start with what?
I am the way you are with the Jerko. I love the Kalen's grub, just steady retrieving it. It's my favorite lure.
And you know, this is kind of a fun day for you and I. We get to fish where we want, when we want, and move when we want, and
Love it.
just look for the weeds, right?
Absolutely. If you're ticking the weeds, you are right in the neighborhood trying to find walleyes.
Good start, huh?
Beautiful fish.
Hey!
Here we go!
Right by the side of the boat there, Ryan. Not a bad little walleye.
You know, I casted right where you did to catch that last one, and there's some fish in there.
You know, it was interesting, that first fish I caught, there was another walleye coming in with it, you know?
Yeah, you said there were one or two, I thought.
Yeah, so we were on a school of fish. And the neat thing, you know, with the equipment we have, that spot lock or anchor system on that
Spot
Minn Kota.
lock, yep.
I mean, you hit that, and, you know, a lot of folks wonder what you do in the boat all day. And, of course, you sit and you're always ready to film a fish. But you actually learn a lot about fishing, right, over the years?
Just read the user manual the whole day. That's what I do. No, I'm just kidding. It's wonderful to have them and release that. It's wonderful to have the time to be able to go through things and learn things and set the hummingbirds up the way you want it. And if you have a question, I usually know it or I'll figure it out for you.
Now, do you like shooting video or catching fish better?
I love catching fish, but you always seem to catch them right when I got my cast as far out as
here we
possible.
go. Look at this guy, Ryan. That's a real nice walleye right there, isn't it?
They're real pretty fish.
Yeah. And you know, all the years that you and I have fished, you know, all the different states, there's something to me about the UP that is so cool. It's such a wild area up here and so few people. And here we are in late August, early September, catching walleyes. And you know, there's hardly anybody up here. You know, today we're the only there's one other boat on the whole lake. Look at that.
It feels like you got your own private lake to fish. It's
Yeah.
really, really nice.
And just beautiful walleyes. Catch and release. Folks, taking a look at the hummingbird here, what Ryan and I are doing is looking for weed edges. And this time of the year, they're always going to hold fish. And as we come up here, the weeds are starting at about 12 or 13 feet. They should come up here pretty quick. And what we're doing is positioning the boat in about 18 feet of water, so we're casting in. Now you can see the weeds are just starting to develop here, and that's the weed line right here in 11 feet of water. So we'll keep the boat in about 18 feet and cast into the edge, trying to hit about right here. Ryan, I'll tell you, that hit when they hit the plastics is so much fun. And we got ourselves another walleye coming in here.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, look at them. That's another.
Oh, yeah.
That's a beauty right there.
Gorgeous.
And you can tell when they're hungry. You know,
Look at that.
Where is my jerko?
I don't know.
And we just showed really what we're doing. You know, that drop off that we're fishing that you could see on the hummingbird. I have the Minn Kota right now in spot lock, and it's holding us right on that break line, about 19 feet. And again, we're casting into 13. And what we'll do is fish a little bit of a section. And we got some heavy wind today that you really can't tell right now. If you don't get a bite, you just move another 20 yards and repeat the process till you find them. It's a good way to fish. Isn't that pretty? Every time you got to put your rod down, don't you feel bad?
I always have a cast completely out when you catch one.
I saw that time. Oh, another walleye. There we go. And you know what, Ryan? What we forgot today, and that's actually a short fish if you were keeping them. What we forgot today is our net.
Not good.
So what's going to happen, it's going to be the day that we get a big bass or a big northern that we want to net, and we're not going to have it. A lot of people ask me what size jig heads you use when you're doing this rip jigging. And today I'm using a 1/4 ounce because we have wind, and I want that thing to be able to get down to the bottom, and I want to be able to see my line, so it's got to be somewhat taut. So you use as light a jig as possible. Today I'm using a 1/4 because of the wind. On a calmer day, I'll use an 1/8 ounce jig head. And that little Kalen's mini jerk minnow, man, I'll tell you, they're smoking that today.
You are a wonderful guide. You said cast right there, and I did, and it's a fish.
All right, buddy.
Nice fish.
Oh,
Really-
yeah, there's a nice
Really wish we would have
walleye,
brought
man.
that net today.
Oh, no, it's always fun to flip in the walleyes, you know.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
that is interesting. You know, we've run into fish that are in schools, aren't they?
Unbelievable. I mean, literally, you told me to cast right there. I did, and I got a fish in about 3 or 4 cranks.
How are they hitting that Kalen's grub pretty hard?
Just a tick, and I just love having the super line, this Seagar smackdown, and these fish are smacking down for sure today.
What, you know, you get to fish quite a bit, you know, on your own time, and you like that smackdown because you can actually feel the bite?
It's unbelievable, and just like you're saying about ticking the weeds too, you can feel it and you know right away, and you can just get the right speed for reeling, and that's it right there.
But you're using a leader material on the end of the smackdown.
Yeah, I'm using the Braze X. I think I got 8 pound on today.
Uh-huh. And that's, the fish can't see that.
Obviously not. Woo!
Way to go! Way
There
to
we go. There we go.
Good walleye? Where's your Fravel?
Oh, that's a gigantic walleye.
That is a beautiful fish. You're gonna have to flip him in or grab. Wow, Ryan!
Whoa!
Holy cow, buddy!
That's
nice. That's the biggest fish of the day right there, man.
Woo!
Wow.
That is a gorgeous fish.
Isn't that something?
All right, how do you hold these up here? Just like that?
That's perfect. Yeah, hold them up, man.
Look at that. That is just beautiful.
Isn't that?
I love it. I love that dark back on them like that and that golden color.
He smoked that too, didn't he?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Kalen's grub, baby. I love it. I love it. Steady
you know,
retrieve, just ticking the weeds.
That is the most beautiful thing about that bait. A lot of times when we're fishing, and I'm not saying you're a beginner, but when we're fishing with less experienced anglers, that is the easiest thing to use,
It's
isn't
just
it?
same as casting a crankbait. Just cast it out there and just tick the weeds. And sometimes you do bring back weeds, and that's unfortunate. But sometimes you bring back this, and that's awesome.
Hold them out. I mean, yeah, that's really what, about a 20, 21-inch fish?
Yeah, I'd say.
Can't let you catch all the fish. That was a beauty you just caught, by the way. Ooh, this one's fighting pretty good too.
You gonna top
This
me?
is a walleye. Nah, here he comes, buddy. Just really nice sized fish, aren't they? There we
Just
go.
a great average.
Yeah,
I mean, there haven't been any we didn't film.
I wish we did have our Fravel, because the way these fish are biting, Ryan, I actually got a feeling that we're going to get into a big one. Also should mention that, to look at these lakes in the UP, the Michigan DNR website is pretty cool. They list all the species that are in the lakes. They have when they were last stocks. It's a nice history thing. And when we were driving up, Ryan, you actually looked at that, right? And told me.
There was a long report that I read.
Yeah. How's my photography been?
On the grub.
Ooh, look at that. Walk right up here, buddy.
Just smacked it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And that another beautiful, beautiful walleye.
Yep.
And fishing that grub is fun. You're just, how do you know how fast to retrieve? That's one thing.
I cast it out and I let it sink, and I got to tell where the weeds are, and sometimes I let it sink too far, and then I'll know on my next cast.
How's my photography been?
I hope good.
We were fishing in Upper Michigan, north of Iron River, a 4-hour drive from Milwaukee, 5.5 hours from Chicago, and 4.5 hours from Minneapolis. Folks, running a big 2-stroke engine this year, I've really gotten to rely on the Amsoil HP Marine. This really makes my engine run better, doesn't it, Len?
It does. We do a lot of testing behind the scenes on these particular products, and a couple of the big things to think about is wear protection and detergency. We make sure that there's nothing building up inside that engine. We're also protecting it from wear, because these are the things you don't look at until something happens. So we make sure it doesn't.
And a lot less smoke, right?
Right. That's something that we actually do. We look at trying to produce less smoke. That's one of the major things.
And for more information on both the HP 2-stroke and 4-stroke Marine, you can go to
Amsoil.com.
The new Acme Rattlemaster has a built-in echo chamber with a brass rattle that calls fish in. The body's solid brass too and won't bend or dull, and reflects fish attracting light all over the water column. This 1-2 punch of sight and sound means you make less casts, because the fish come to you. Rip it or shake it for crappie, walleye, northern salmon, or trout, and experience multi-species action with just one bait.
Folks, when I head out to fish, I always stock up on my favorite Baitmate fish attractants. Dale, I just put that Baitmate on, man. Baitmate offers a complete line of fish attractants and convenient spray bottles for every angler and every species of fish. Improve your chances of catching fish with Baitmate fish attractants. It just makes sense. Hey folks, John Gillespie here. Don't forget to submit your entry to the BaitMate Fish Attractant Catch of the Week contest. Simply post your image or short video with your fish and BaitMate product used with hashtag BaitMate to be entered to win our weekly prizes. All entries will be submitted for the end of the year summer grand prize, a televised fishing trip for two with me, John Gillespie, sponsored by BaitMate Fish Attractants. For full contest details, visit baitmate.com. I never get tired of that hit.
I know,
Never.
it's amazing. I love plastics. Are so much fun.
Look at this guy, Ryan. That's actually
fight.
another nice walleye.
They fight.
I don't know, he's short, but I mean, when he hit, it was amazing.
They're not messing around, that's for sure.
And you know, the reason I talked about it earlier, why I'm using that smaller grub, is the cold front. But the last couple of times, especially when we were up in Boulder Junction back in June, one of the guys that we were fishing with was using this and out fishing me with the big one. So there's just sometimes I think that they prefer that smaller bait. And what I'm using for a jig head, folks, that's called a darter jig, and that falls a little bit different than a round head. It'll kind of fall like that instead of a round head falling directly down, and that's kind of entices the fish to bite. What happened there?
I thought I was reeling in weeds.
And what is it? Oh, it's a northern pike, huh?
It's a great northern pike.
Oh, that's a small one. And
Can I lift that in?
I would, yeah. It's a teensy. Now grab him by the back of the head hard. I'm going to tell you how to do this, okay? Real hard. There you go. Now hold tightly, okay?
I'm not the greatest
I know. You're not
holder of
experienced. So you got them tight. Now just
I'm unhooking them.
unhook them.
All right.
But if you hold them tight by the back of the head like that, that's the way to do it. Now you just stuck your hand with the lure.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Feels good.
Do you want to go home?
No.
This is a small walleye, Ryan, right here. But it is interesting how they run in schools, you know. This spot here, we caught some smaller ones early and moved on. But
He's not ready.
there we go. Want to mention to the folks, though, that you just had a huge hit, huh?
Yeah, it was a huge tug and totally tore my Kalen's grub off.
But how many fish did you catch on that Kalen's grub, though, before?
Everything, everything I've caught.
Yeah. Hey, want to show the folks the cadence here. Now, today, we got a lot of wind out here. So I try to position the boat where I'm casting wind to the wind or with the wind or directly into the wind. Otherwise, you get too big of a bow in your line. So after a cold front like this, I cast out and make sure that jig gets all the way to the bottom. That's extremely important to keep bottom contact with this type of fishing. And today, because of the cold front, what I'm doing is just giving a little pop like that and letting it go all the way back down to the bottom. And you can see the wind blowing, and then when it hits the bottom again, another little pop. And on a warm front day, or when the fish are really biting a lot, you can give bigger pops like that. And the bigger pops will draw attention from fish a little bit further away. But today, with the cold front, just little pops like that, let it go down to the bottom. As soon as it hits the bottom, another little pop. Folks, as this day is going on, it is getting windier and colder. And I was gonna try casting a spinnerbait, Ryan, over the tops of the weeds here. But man, I'll tell you what, it is really blowing. I think we're gonna be stuck to that lee shoreline over there and finish the day with the walleyes. What do you think? You agree?
You see how my lure is still not deployed here? We're moving way too fast and it's way too windy to even remotely try.
Well, think about it. When we drove up here yesterday, it was 84 degrees, sunny and calm. I think this morning it read 52 on the truck, and that wind is really picking up.
Yeah, and it's a little chilly.
Well, Ryan, we got out of that wind again, and we got ourselves in. Oh, here he is. There's a nice wall skirt there. No, we got out of that wind. I mean, that wind is vicious. And you actually put your raincoat on. You got your old hoodie top on.
It's a little chilly over there.
Well, we hadn't had a bite, really in about an hour. You know? But we're in the middle of the day here. The sun is out now. But, man, it is chilly and windy. And the first real cold front of the late summer. And
we're still catching a lot of fish, though.
Yeah, but we can't go to the other side of the lake. We're just kind kind of stuck here in this corner where it's not too windy. Folks, I am really excited about this new Johnsonville product. We have flame grilled chicken breasts. No hormones in this meat, folks. It's never been frozen. This is really high quality stuff.
Absolutely, John. They're hand-trimmed chicken breasts, fully seasoned, ready to go. Put them in the microwave for 1 minute, and there's your dinner.
Healthiest treat I've ever seen, and they come in individual packages, so you open one package and put it in for 30 seconds?
Exactly. Vent it, cook it in its individual packages, and there it's marinating and getting all the delicious juices.
Is that good? So moist and tender.
Yeah, they are. And Tom, you can also eat those cold in a salad or a sandwich.
Absolutely. They're great warm or cold.
Johnsonville?
Flame grilled chicken.
Let us make this absolutely clear. The days of wasted casts and missed opportunities are over. New Mega Imaging takes fishing into the megahertz range for the first time, because higher frequency sonar means higher frequency of this. Without a doubt, it's the most detailed picture of the world below ever. And it's only from Humminbird.
This one's staying down, man.
Bigger fish?
It feels good. Here he comes.
Well, you've got a good average size today.
You know, they all have been, you know, on a normal lake, they've all been legal fish, most of them, maybe 2 shorts.
Yep.
But look at how he ate that too, you know.
Crushed it.
And by the way, folks, I did try the longer Kalen's jerk minnow, and I didn't get bit on it, Ryan.
That's weird.
Isn't that weird? And it's only about that much longer.
1 inch longer, yep.
Yeah. But there's days, man, like I said earlier, where they prefer, you know, this smaller bait. You were getting sad there for a while, weren't you?
I'm still here.
Yay! And ooh, that's a nice walleye there. Hold them up, grab them, grab them, grab them.
Whoa! There we go.
You had a long wait there, didn't you?
Yeah, I was just waiting for this guy to come around.
No, it's been pretty slow the last hour or two. The wind is just relentless and tough to jig.
It's like a swirling deal where you can't tell where it's going and your line's blowing all over the place. It's really hard to feel a bite.
Uh-oh, look at this guy, Ryan. Look at this guy. Look at him. Aren't they pretty?
They really are.
There, that's a nice walleye right there. And you know, you and I were just taking a break and putting around, and you know, we don't know this lake, and we're in about 12 feet of water, and it was all just sand, and I spotted just kind of a weed bed, and put the bow mount down and positioned us outside that small weed bed, and that was about the 3rd cast. This one hit right by the boat on the end of the cast.
You are on fire.
Oh, look at, there he is. Wallski
Nice.
there. That was interesting, folks. Cast it out, and I felt a tick, Ryan, as soon as the bait hit the water before I did the first twitch. Didn't get him. Started twitching back, hit again, missed him, and then he hit right by the side of the boat. So that's a lesson, folks.
I love it.
Yeah. Always, if you get a bite, continue the cast, and maybe they'll come back like that one did. And guess what, Ryan?
What's that?
It's time now to announce this week's winners of the Mills Fleet Farm John Gillespie's Waters and Woods 2017 Fishing Contest. This week's first winner is Jeff Wiersba of Pewaukee. He caught this 42-inch northern on Smooth Rock Lake on a storm. Don the Legend Neal of Manawa boated this 50-inch muskie on Eagle Lake on a jig and minnow. Mackenzie Mick Cruz of Sauk City, Wisconsin boated this 32-inch walleye on Packwash Lake on a spinner. Alan Schmidt of Waugh Pond caught this 22-inch bass on Mason Lake on a chatterbait. And this week's kids winners are Jackson Allwood of New Richmond caught this 41-inch catfish on the Mississippi River on a sheep's head. And Bodie Chrisman of Lake Geneva boated this 22-inch smallmouth on the Bay of Green Bay on a Senko. Our adult winners will receive a $25 Mills Fleet Farm gift card. Our kids winners, a Plano tackle box. Remember, folks, Mills Fleet Farm has everything you need for fishing, including snacks and your licenses. Mills Fleet Farm is your fishing gear headquarters. Well, we're getting near the end of the day here, Ryan. And just another walleye. I'm kind of surprised we didn't, here he comes. I'm kind of surprised that that we didn't get any, well, one little northern, but no bass or panfish, just all walleyes, you know? But again, you know, that's a lot of fun for me. I love catching walleyes. And I'll bet you we caught, what do you think we've caught? 22, 23?
Yeah, it's over 20, I would say.
In what, 6 hours, right?
Great day of fishing.
And we got another half hour. You got to get one more.
We're not done yet.
Well, what are you doing there?
Ask and you shall receive.
Oh, you were getting a little disgruntled there.
No, you said you needed me to catch one, and I wanted to catch this.
Ooh, Ryan, walk up here. That's a beautiful walleye.
I always reel it up
Where
too far.
is your Kalen grub?
Who knows?
Boy, did he smoke that, huh?
Look at that.
You know, we've caught most of these fish in a cold front in the middle of the day, you know, and everybody...
It's definitely not a fishy day, as an angler would call it, but we're doing great.
Yeah, let me see where that Kalen's is. I've really loved running the Recon 2185 this year, so have you, Pete. And these boats are going to be for sale at the end of the season, and they are rigged to the hilt, aren't they?
They are rigged to the hilt, professionally rigged by John at Recon Boats, and you can buy both of these boats at the end of the year, or either of these boats at the end of the year. There's a Recon boat section on PeteMana.com, or go through your local Recon dealer.
They're going to be at a great price too, folks.
Yes.
Hey folks, this Stingray cutting tool is the most convenient and sharpest tool I've ever had in the boat. 30-pound braid, look at that, man, like butter. And you can also trim with this too, Pete?
Yeah, you can trim tight to jigs, lures, and just, you know, it'll actually take the knot off. And again, it'll be, you know, your mono, your floral, whatever it is. And on up to my 130-pound test muskie line, it's going to slice it like butter.
And we never have to say, hey Ryan, get the knife.
Yeah, get the knife, Ryan. If you fish, chances are you've used a mustad hook. That's all we use.
Mark, get him in there. Army tank Daredale. Oh, there is a big boy. I mean, I just can't believe this, folks. Oh, let's see him, buddy. Look at that. That 10 seconds, though, makes a big difference, buddy. Well, that one is a gorgeous fish. Is that pushing 3?
It's 3. We're going to weigh it.
Mustad, the world's largest manufacturer of fishing hooks. Get the point? We did. Well, Ryan, you're behind the camera again, and it was a very windy day, but you had a lot of fun, didn't you?
Absolutely. I can't believe that we caught that many walleyes in this crazy cold front that we've been fishing in all day.
And folks, that is our show for today. Please join us next week. I don't know where we're going to fish yet. We'll find a place somewhere. Until then, I'm John Gillespie, hoping to see you enjoying John Gillespie's Waters and Woods.
Hey, hey!